Recording. This Hangout on air is live. Okay, so now once I have this all live and recorded, how do I get the link to put it in the email?
At the end,
Was that
you'll
in
hit broadcast, and then it'll give you instructions on your screen. It's really easy, I promise.
Sorry, say that again.
When we're all done, you'll hit stop broadcast at the bottom, and then it'll create a link that'll put on your like you know, on your Google page under creations, it has like videos that you've done before. It'll show up there, and it gives you instructions on your screen.
Okay, well, let me invite these boys one more time. All right. Alrighty, so let's start with this and get going. So it's the first question is, ask your team to help you understand some backgrounds on sexual harassment laws before you start the case. What do you guys understand about sexual harassment?
Not allowed. I'm trying to remember specifically what we read about. I know we read those cases that had the laws on discrimination against race or gender. Were there any specific laws about sexual harassment in the cases that we read, though?
No, it did not point out any specific ones, I don't think.
I don't feel like I've read anything, but what I do know about it is just from the case that we read, how at first, you know, people tried to say that sexual harassment was a type of discrimination against gender, like a gender discrimination or sex discrimination. And at first, people weren't buying that, but eventually there were so many complaints that it caught on, and people started to sort of put sexual harassment under just the like sex discrimination category. And so, I mean, probably like same with the other discriminations, I would assume that anytime you're being treated differently in a negative way, or I guess a positive way too, you know, just treated favorably or unfavorably because of this reason, because it has nothing to do with business.
Yeah, I know, like so we had the two readings, like one about the case study and then the other one like more specific about the laws.
Right.
And I know in that one, they talk about like who you can sue, and it kind of is confusing because, but I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, that was a long one to read.
Yeah, it was. And I don't know if I even understood it all. Oh, I had something and I totally forgot what I was going to point out about it.
The beginning section talked about all the American laws.
Yeah, and then it went through different states.
And then it just kind of gave us an overview, which was a bulk of paper.
Okay, so our definition of sexual harassment is you can't do anything inappropriate to anyone else that would make them uncomfortable in any way. That's broad enough.
Yeah, that's definitely broad enough.
Okay, so then based on the Martine story, does her situation constitute sexual harassment?
Definitely.
Denise, what do you think?
What was the full name?
Yeah, can you say that again?
Okay, so on the story that we read about the Martine story,
Inez?
does her situation constitute sexual harassment?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Was her name Martine or Martinez?
Martinez?
I think Martinez.
Okay, I'm just like, I don't remember Martine. And what was the first name? Do you remember?
Julia.
Based on okay. I remember now. Julia. Okay. It's like,
yeah. Oh, there's good luck. Hello.
Yeah, that was a huge problem. Hi. Wow, we can see you this time and hear you. It's a miracle.
I'm sorry that I came late.
That's all right. You know what? Let me invite Edwin one more time too now. We can get him to come on. Okay, so we're talking about the Martinez story on sexual harassment. So is it a quid pro quo or her hostile work environment? What do you guys think it is?
Hostile work environment.
Yeah, definitely the hostile work environment.
I would say it's both.
So how do you think it's quid pro?
Just because she's afraid like she won't get fired, and she's like wanted to get transferred, she doesn't want to work, in the environment where the boss is working.
Right.
I would say it's both.
Well, with quid pro, the person who is harassing has to see, like, if you don't do this, then something else. Like, then I'll fire you. And I don't think her boss said that she would get fired. I think she just thinks she'd get fired. But it doesn't sound like the harassment was like, do this or I'll fire you. Am I right?
There is one part in the story where I think is when he like touched her, and then he was like there's no point telling anybody because no one's gonna believe you. Like, I'll just deny it. So I don't know. Maybe like again, nothing. Like, I don't think it's specifically quid pro because he never said that you're gonna get fired, but like maybe underlying it could be a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, it was kind of like let me do this or else, like, I don't know.
Or maybe like it's starting as the harassment and then it's like slowly building up to the other one.
Yeah.
Because it seems like it keeps getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so the boss is going further, but he hadn't demanded other things from her yet.
Right.
He just threatened her or gave the indication that he was threatening her.
Right.
Okay. School. Okay. Hold on. Where did he go? Tell him school doesn't start for another hour. He doesn't go yet. Sorry, two little boys that are very.
No, they're fine.
Okay, so from reading the notes on sexual harassment, do you think DaCosta got an accurate advice when he called the counselor's office? When he called, remember, he called and talked to them and said, "Hey, I'm not going to give you names, but here's this," and they told him what to do. Do you think he got accurate advice?
No, I don't. That was something that stood out to me when I was reading, is because in the laws it said that the boss or the HR person at work can try to settle it themselves, and then if they can't, then they need to get help. But it didn't say that they were required to report it like the lady told him.
I would say I think yes. Because maybe they didn't really know what to do. And they give him some advice that he need to report him and do, and they can do an investigation.
Right. Do you guys remember reading, though, that it said that the people in the office can try to settle it themselves?
Yeah.
I want to find it because I remember reading that and being like, "What? That lady was wrong." But on the basis that he obviously doesn't know what to do, it probably would be best for him to follow her advice.
Yeah. Well, and the point where the lady told him that if he didn't report it, then it could cause further problems, because if they actually make a big lawsuit out of it, then he could get in trouble for knowing and never saying anything, and then the whole work looks bad because it looks like they're trying to hide it.
Right. Well, I'm not trying to say that he can't just not say anything. I'm saying that he can talk to the people in his office.
Yeah. Well, and I asked my husband about this. I said, "So how did you do this? What about in your office?" And he says, once a complaint is made, he goes, you don't go back and talk to the person. You don't go try to explain your side of it. You turn it over to HR, and then what happens after that.
Yeah, but the problem is the lady never come up and report anything.
So
You just heard it.
right.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the difference. Rachel's like, if it's between two people, then like they can handle it themselves. But then once like another
Oh,
finds out and makes a comment, then maybe that's when it has to get turned over.
that would make sense to me. I
Yeah.
wish I could find what I had read earlier because I would like to understand the difference, but that would make sense.
Yeah. Okay, so follow up. Why am I okay? Well, let me see. Okay, so it actually said that it's the Lone Star EEO office and not a federal EEOC. Students go back to see what it actually said. If it was the,
In that rejection, one would oppose, then they would rise.
so it was just the Lone Star. It was just the internal lawyers that he was talking to, not. Is that right?
I'm sorry, I don't understand your question.
Well, I'm just trying to read the notes on this number 5 and understanding what it wants us to do, but I'm not quite sure what it wants us to do.
Okay, what does it say? You just want to like read it
It
word.
says you might need to follow up by asking who the lawyer said he has to report to.
Okay.
Did they say to go to federal or to just internal?
Okay.
I
I
thought,
understand now. I can try to look it up.
I think EEO.
Differences between the masculine and the feminine. This takes the form of pushing women to adopt more masculine traits, more aggressive, tough, confrontational.
does anybody know that one?
I'm looking up the article right now because I don't remember.
Yes.
I don't remember, but I think it's EEO. Report it to EEO.
She said you are required, it's on.
Sorry, I don't get the question.
Well, she says you are required to call our EEO, Equal Employment Office, immediately. I'll
Mhm.
give you the number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was told to call them to do it, and he didn't want to.
Right.
So anyway, so why might a lawyer representing the company insist on instituting a formal investigating process? So why would a lawyer representing the company insist on instituting a formal investigation? What do you guys think?
Because if they leave the case like they don't do anything about it, then it will continue on and happening. That's why the lady said you have to speak up so it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
And it covers the company so that they're not liable.
My freedom that goes today is to protect.
Okay. So yeah, I agree. You need to go further. Okay, so here's the question. It says ask one student, but I'm gonna ask y'all. How would you evaluate Jack DaCosta's opinion at this point? What do you think he should do? What do you guys all think? Do you all, let's see, say aye? If we agree that he should report to and turn her in? Or just ignore it and let her deal with it? What do you
No,
guys think?
report it.
Well, I think that he definitely should talk to her about it before he reports it, because I don't think it would be right for him to just report it without saying anything. Because I was like what the heck? Where did this come from? But if he like gets in there and talks to her about it and then reports it, I think that would make more sense.
Yeah.
So it gives her a chance to kind of speak up too.
I just messaged that like paragraph that I wasn't clear on. Do you guys want to read it and try to help me understand what it's saying? Because this is the one that's making me not sure like if he has to report it or not. And this is just copied from our reading the like notes on sexual harassment laws.
Bring up your faith, line of truth. To pray, to walk up that
I don't have Messenger on my laptop. Hold on, I'll grab my phone.
that no one misunderstands. Praising and encouraging them,
I just sent it in the Google Hangouts message
men and boys
Oh, I didn't.
on the side.
from their own duties,
Oh, there it is up there. Okay, I see it. Never mind.
their responsibility representative serve, sacrifice, and mission, no less than that it would share their burdens and cultivate our own companion moral authority.
Until 9 o'clock.
Sisters, we rely on the moral force you bring to the world, marriage, family, to the church. We
So it
regret
sounds like to me it's saying that
prayers
if you're gonna
securely
create a claim, you first have to talk to that employer about it, and like take that measure with them and say what's been going on before you actually create the claim.
Oh, okay. So, because it says those wishing to lodge a hostile environment claim under Title VII. So that's saying under like this, I guess.
Yeah, and maybe the reason is
First, pursue corrective action with their employer. But then it says unreasonable failure to do so may result in loss of. Oh, I get it. So it's not saying the failure to like settle it with your employer. It's saying the failure to talk.
no. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I actually really looked it up because I was like, I wasn't reading that correctly.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then it says most mid-sized and large companies provide formal internal procedures. So he called, like Jack called the, where is it? I just want to find. What do you remember what the like who it was that he called, what the name was?
Who the agency was in the article? He called their EEO or EEOC.
It says he looked at the general counsel's office.
Yeah. Is that not the EEO or?
No. So he called the general counsel's office, and then she said, you're required to call our EEO, Equal Employment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So it sounds like their Equal Employment office, that's not like a state or federal office. That's probably their business's office for handling these things, do you think?
Okay, yeah.
And then they'll probably go from there. They're like the people, they're probably like HR people that are in charge of handling these kinds of things.
Yeah.
That makes
Okay.
sense. Thank you.
So everybody, what did you decide on it? How many said that he should talk to her? Do we all agree that he should talk to her first? Or just to turn her in?
Well, he should talk to her because he said he would. I don't think he's necessarily like required to talk to her, but he said, I won't do anything until I talk to you. And so I think that would
Okay, so everybody
really leave him. What?
Everybody agrees that he should talk to her first?
Yeah, and even if she says, no, please, please don't, he should just say, I'm sorry, I have to. It doesn't mean that she's going to come out agreeing with him, but he should at least let her know.
Okay. All righty.
Hannah, I didn't really hear your response. Is that what you were saying too? Or did you think
so?
Okay.
Okay, so here's the question. For students who stay to report, ask them what they will explain to Julia Martinez about their decision. Are they willing to get her fired over this? Okay, but we all agree that he should talk to her first, but if we said to report her, are they willing to allow her to be fired over it? Probably not. Nobody wanted to get her fired.
Yeah, sure.
Well, her boss would probably be the one getting fired.
Yeah, I'm confused about that question because
Yeah.
Me too.
why would she be getting fired?
I'm like,
Well, because the boss is saying, well, you know, nobody's going to believe you mentality. So it's his word against hers.
well, I think people would believe her because Jack caught her bawling on the phone about it. You don't just bawl to your sister that aren't happening.
Yeah. Okay, so then for students who say to do nothing, Ask about DaCosta's ethical duties. So if he chose to do nothing, is there an ethical, let's see, let's do this one. Does he owe Julia any ethical duty if she feels unable to stick up for herself?
Yeah. He should stick up for her.
Anybody else?
I feel like just kind of making sure he keeps an eye on it.
Yeah.
Like if he's not going to report it, and I mean, obviously he cares about it, so then I think he should just keep watching and like making sure that she's okay.
Yeah, Denise, what do you think?
Making sure she's okay. Report it.
Yeah.
So this is, are you saying this is if he doesn't report it? What's his ethical duty?
Yeah, does he owe Julia any ethical duty if she feels unable to stick up for herself? So if she can't do it, does he feel obligated that he should do it?
Is this like if he reports it and she's not sticking up for herself, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is if we say that DaCosta should do nothing for her, do nothing.
As in not report it?
Yeah.
So if he doesn't report it, then he should probably keep them separate in the office, at least.
Yeah.
But he needs to report it. And then if she doesn't say, if she doesn't fess up because she's scared about what everyone's going to think, like he should like tell everyone what happened for her.
Yeah.
Because the lady on the phone even said like some people aren't in a position to report for themselves because they're just like too scared.
Okay. All right, so we're going to do some role playing now. We get to have some fun now with this one. Okay, so now your team will consider what to incur in a company's sexual harassment policy. Assign each of your team members a role. Okay, so who wants to be the potential victim of harassment?
You pick. You just decide.
And then we got the harasser, the bystander, and the legal counsel. So there's 4 of us that are still on. I don't know. Edwin never got on, and good luck. Oh, there's good luck.
Okay.
Okay, so who wants to be the harasser? Anybody want to be the harasser?
I'll be it.
All right, Denise, there we
Legal
go.
enforcer. Over that.
Okay. So, Hannah, you want to be the victim?
Sure.
All right. Good luck and I will be the bystanders, and Rachel, you be the legal counsel. Okay, so it says, given your assigned roles, identify the most important things you want to see in a new policy and procedure that your organization is formulating to govern sexual harassment issues. Be prepared to defend your choices, as other people may not agree with them. Okay, so you are, let's see, Hannah, you're the victim. So think about laws how you would want sexual harassment law to help you. As the harasser, Denise, you think of how the sexual laws would pertain to you. Good luck and I will think as bystanders on, as what Mr. DaCosta, his role is. And then Rachel, you're legal. So it says we get 5 minutes to figure this out. So if you need thinking time,
You want me to think about what?
Okay, so if you are the harasser, what part of the laws maybe that you can skirt by, or how would you say that? To twist, how sometimes they can twist the meaning of things to say, oh, it really meant this instead.
So is the question like what laws do need to be laid out so that all of these people are treated fairly?
Yeah, so it says, given your assignment, roles, identify the most important things you want to see in a new policy and procedure for your organization. Okay, so if you think about it think about it for a few minutes, and then we'll figure out how we can do this. So I'll take me some notes really quick. Okay. Anybody want to go first?
I can start.
Okay,
Hopefully I
Hannah.
understood this right. Okay, so I'm just kind of like coming up with a new law that I would want in the office.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say that people should be able to make any harassment claims without being fired for any accusations or false accusations.
I like that. What about making it so you can report it anonymously?
Yeah.
Does that sound fair? Maybe legal counsel? What would you say to that?
Yeah. I think that would be really important because her biggest fear right now is that like her husband will be super upset, and also that what was her other fear? Was she worried that she would get
That was just that her husband and that she would get fired. Her husband was going to overreact.
Well, there's no reason she should get fired. That's like, that doesn't make sense to me. Her husband probably would overreact and be pulled down. And I can totally understand, like, you know, this is a business issue and she doesn't want to have to bring it home, and she shouldn't have to if she doesn't want to. You know, she should report it and they should take care of her boss, and everything should just go back to peace.
Okay, so as the harasser, Denise, what kind of policy changes would you want to see in a law, or in a policy, not a law, but a policy at the office?
I would say if someone doesn't see it, then it's not that they can make a claim about it.
So meaning that you have to have proof somehow before a claim can be legit.
Yes.
Okay, that as a harasser, I would see that. You know, that's kind of what we had here too.
Yeah.
The boss was like, well, you won't have proof. Nobody's going to believe you.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. As a bystander, good luck. What would you think we should add to a policy for being a bystander?
I would just like my ideas together. I hope that will be okay.
I didn't hear all what you said.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I didn't catch all of it.
I said, just give me a few minutes to gather my ideas together, then I will get back to you.
Okay, sounds good. Okay.
So if I can make a comment back to like between Denise and Hannah's comments, I think that if the harasser is going to have a policy that there has to be proof, I think there's that one type of proof should be a certain number of like people as a witness.
Yeah, like yeah.
Because I feel like in a lot of these situations, there may not be a video camera, there may not be any physical marks. Like really the only, I mean, in this case, the only thing Julia has, her word, I feel like that's 3 people. So that's pretty good, but I don't know. So you'd probably want to lay out like what, you know, maybe it's not a certain number of witnesses, but you probably want to lay out what is considered proof.
Okay. Okay, so because he said in there, you know, or she said that, you know, he would brush up against her in the elevator or when nobody was looking. So he was very conscious of what he was doing.
Right.
So as a bystander, what do you think, Good Luck? Should a bystander, how could a bystander help with these proofs of policies?
Okay, I say something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what kind of things could a bystander do to a harassment? If you saw something at work or at school that you
I feel like sometimes it's very difficult when you, as a bystander,
It is. It's hard to be the bystander because you never know. It's kind of like Mr. DaCosta. He didn't know if he should call somebody or what you should do. And I think we've all seen it before, either at school, at the grocery store. Somebody's being very aggressive or, not being polite. Do we just walk by with the, I didn't see anything? Or do we say, hey, that's not right?
Yeah, I just want to say that I have experienced one. And what happened is that I felt that the individual who is involved is bigger than me. Like I felt inadequate to come and then do something, probably tell him stop, that is not good, or maybe cause someone that come and intervene. And so what I did is that I just got someone attention, someone else, and to come and talk to the individual who is harassing and someone else. So that is what I did. I had to call someone else attention to come in and do that, because I know just if only me, if I'm the one doing it, he wouldn't mind me. Like like he would ignore me and just walk away and continue with what he's doing. And so I have to call someone who I feel like he will listen to.
So in your case, the bystander or the person that like you got their attention and had them help you was really important.
Yeah.
So do you feel like, as if you're a bystander and you witness something, that do you think the law should require you to say something about it?
Yes, I will. The law requires it, because you witness it, and then if you are called upon to say it, you have to, because you know that it's true. That is what I feel.
Yeah. Well, and I would agree that, sometimes the buddy system works. When you say, hey, have you seen, you go to a friend and say, hey, have you seen maybe any of this? And sometimes two's better than one's voice on turning it in.
I just have an idea for what Jack could do that I hadn't thought of before.
What's that?
I still think he should definitely report it, but maybe to strengthen their case, he should wait a week and try to catch Jack.
Yeah.
Or try to catch.
To find the proof.
Yeah, the boss because now he knows. So, I mean, if he kept a close enough eye on Julie and them, I bet he could witness something and either catch it on camera or record it. Or maybe, he and Julie could work together to try to catch him so that when they report the claim, they have a strong case.
Yeah. Well, and I would say that, as a bystander to this policy is that you can turn stuff in anonymously, that I shouldn't have to give my name if I don't want to.
I think that's good. So you have to report, but not.
Yeah. So be covered by that. Okay. So here's the wrap up and the end of the story, which, just FYI, is really actually a sad ending. And actually, this is a real case. It says this is a real case, even though the company and individuals have been disguised. So this is the ending. This is the end of the story. When Jack called corporate counsel, he forgot about caller ID. The lawyer used the information he gave her to figure out the people he was talking about. She contacted the Lone Star EEO, which launched a formal investigation. The EEO tried hard to get Martinez to cooperate. French denied all charges, claiming that Martinez had made up her story to protect herself from pending layoffs. Remember, because the company was being bought out, and so there were layoffs. So DaCosta was asked for evidence, but he didn't have any. Julia Martinez's husband found out what was going on, beat up Julia, and forced her to quit.
Oh.
French survived the investigation with only a bruised reputation. He blamed everything on DaCosta for calling corporate counsel. There was so much animosity between DaCosta and French that DaCosta left the company after 3 months. I know, it was a sad ending.
Oh my goodness.
So, and this is a true story. I mean, of course, but it's been. So, with the ending, what do you guys think? Obviously it did not work out the way we thought it should have. So, what do you guys think?
Well, it sounded like it just came down to like, oh, wait, sorry, who was talking?
I think it was just you, Hannah.
Oh, weird. I kept hearing all this background noise.
You're echoing.
I think it just came down to like proof of evidence. It didn't have enough and it wasn't solid, which sucks because she was being harassed, but they should have gone, I guess, like what Rachel is saying, how they should have got that further evidence and proof.
Yeah, that's sad. For me, it like makes me realize how important it is that people know the laws and they know what's required of them if something like this happens. Because if Jack would have known and had thought it through, then he would have maybe gotten some writings from her sister and tried to gather the case before he called, because he would have known that once he called it was like game over and would have realized like she doesn't have any proof at this point and so she might lose, and that would be sad, and then the story would end how it did.
Yeah, definitely.
The whole anonymous thing, that should really be a thing, because that's so sad that I don't know. They should have been able to protect Julia in some way.
I quite agree with you.
First off, holy shnikes. Gosh. Jerk.
Good luck. What do you think on it? Good luck. You still there? Denise, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I would say just before you do any more, like before you make any more moves, try to know the law, like know what's your right before you take any more actions, because it can be against you. So make sure you have enough proof and everything like that, enough evidence to support your claim or whatever you are doing.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Good Luck? What do you think how the ending worked?
Yeah, I think that, one thing that I've observed with certain people is that sometimes people want to add more faster. They want to prove that they are really good, like they can really maintain a very moral standard. But sometimes I feel like some people, they need to maintain, like kind of get the whole truth. Because right now she doesn't have everything to prove that particular action. And so she needed to get the whole truth before moving any step. Then she have a clear evidence to prove what has happened. But this case was different, and she don't have all the evidence to prove the fact. So I think he should have just exercised a little patience and see if that will happen again, and then maybe kind of get a clear evidence that will happen.
Yeah. Well, I think it spiraled out of control by Jack turning her in, by asking the anonymous question, say, what should I do? And then the lawyers used the information to just pursue it because they had to by law, because it was turned in. Mm-hmm. So like you said, Rachel, by knowing the laws, he would have known that he should or shouldn't, or he should have gone and talked to her first on that end.
And as someone who's answering those phones, like, they know that if there's no evidence behind this, the person's going to lose. So I feel like she should have advised him to gather any evidence that he has, because she should say, I don't know. I felt like she should have been more open and just said, like, I have to report this. You called me and I'm going to report it, whether or not you understand why it's important. But I would advise you to gather as much evidence as you can, so you have any hope of winning this case, because she knew it would probably happen. She'd probably seen it before. So that, I don't know. That's just so sad.
Yeah, overall, it's a sad story. So then again, with the ending of it, then what's the most important thing that you guys have learned through this case today? What is the most important thing that you've learned about it, or about sexual harassment? What do you think, Hannah? What do you think is the most important thing that you've learned?
Well, after finding out about the ending, gosh, I don't know. I just keep coming back to like proof, which it's so sad that you would have to that she would need more proof because it was obvious that it was happening. But like if something really is happening to you, like at work or wherever, just make sure that you if you're gonna make claims, to have your proof, and if you don't want to go that route, then like I don't know, just find something for yourself.
Yeah.
What's the best thing, or what's the most important thing you've learned, Denise, over this sexual harassment case?
Before you make any claim, just get more proofs. Make sure you have proofs to show that you have been arresting or anything like that.
Yeah. Rachel, how about you?
I kind of said earlier, I felt like what I have taken from this is the importance of everyone knowing the laws, right? Because now we know that, but lots of people don't understand that when it's going to be reported into, that they need to have some proof if it is going to be reported. So just to have understand what these types of things are like and how they go, so that they can make good decisions about it.
Yeah. Good luck. Are you still there?
Not sure.
Is anybody else here? Good luck. You there? Okay. Well, I agree with both of you, and I think the biggest thing I learned from this was that maybe I need to be more careful if I saw something to maybe have gone and talked to her first instead of going straight to legal, which would have, know the laws, to have known that. But as a colleague or said, hey, I overheard this. Is there anything I can help with in it?
Right.
On that, instead of jumping straight to the lawyers and the EEOC and going that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Or the HR department, I guess, to ask. That's, I guess, where I would have gone with it. So anyways, that's all of it, all of the class today.
Cool.
So
good job.
Okay, so now we just, it says ask everybody to rate themselves. Does everybody want to rate on a scale of 1 to 10 how you participated today?
10.
Wait, yes, 10 for all. Because we did such an amazing job role playing.
That was actually kind of fun. That's a really good, I think if any of us end up in a position where we're making laws or policies or, have any sort of authority to create the rules for an organization, even if it's just your own family, think it through in each person's perspective. I think that's a really good way to be thorough.
Yeah, I like that idea too. Because to a lawyer, of course it's like, here's the law, you have to follow it. But as the harasser, you can say, okay, well, we want to change it a little bit, this or that. So it is. I think it's important to look at all of it. Mm-hmm. So good luck. What did you find to be the most important thing you learned from this case?
Firstly, I would like to say that it's not good to take advantage of people. It's very bad. And sometimes we find ourselves in a position we feel like we want to take advantage of others, probably those who are maybe we are senior officers or senior workers in our individual places, and we because other people see us as the boss, and then we of them. I feel like it's very bad. And second, I learned that I should be able to have a clear evidence.
I think you froze up again. Good luck.
I think he was saying you should have evidence. That was the last word I heard. So
I think so too.
Sounds like we got the same takeaway.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's all for today then.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You want to talk about the paper real quick, or did we ever
get your parts written by Friday, please? And then I'll start reading through it and seeing if there's any editing or notes that I'll just email you guys if there's anything. Hopefully it's not too hard to get it all to like flow coherently and make it like it was maybe written by one person, but it's going to be an interesting paper because I think everyone has such a different way of expressing themselves.
Well, and I think that's the idea of the paper, is that we're all so different that it should, in a way, it should kind of be choppy because we all are different with our opinions.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
As long as everyone, like, you know, if you're like, hopefully you can see on the layout, first paragraph, explain the problem in great detail, and then you've got to come up with 4 solutions. And you can keep or change the solutions that we brainstormed and that I have notes on there for, but they need to be thorough explanations. That's only 2 to 3 paragraphs per person, so.
That's not bad. And for next week, do we have a schedule of who's
Yeah, we do. Thanks
Sorry for the.
Oh, you're back. Hey, do you have any questions about the paper while you're here?
Yeah. I just wanted to ask. The paper is due today, right?
What?
No.
The paper we are submitting as a group is due today.
No.
No, get your part to Rachel by Friday.
Okay, so the meeting today, the meeting we do every week has nothing to do with the paper, except for the fact that we chat about it a little bit. So we're on the same page.
That's my question. Yeah.
So the paper, you got the Google document that I sent you, right? Have you looked at that?
Yeah.
Okay, so all you have to do is go to that Google document and you can write right on that. You don't need to write something separately. Just type in the Google document and everyone will be able to see it. And so I'm pretty sure me and you are on that first section. So that very first paragraph at the top, we're going to work together to explain the problem in great detail. And then I'm going to write about the first 2 solutions. So I'll write the next 2 paragraphs, and then you're going to write the 3rd and 4th paragraph. And that's going to be 2 different solutions to our problem. So I'll go to it real quick right here. So good luck. Me and you are writing about appraisals. The fact that there hasn't been any appraisals in the last 5 years is a big problem. No one's getting evaluated at work. So we're going to write about that problem. And then the paragraph after that, for solution 1, I have create appraisal forms. So I'm going to write about how to create those. And then solution 2, I have teach. So I'm going to write about, you know, how to teach management about administering these appraisals. And then for solution 3, we have plan ahead, which is probably going to be like creating a plan for the future. You know, like, okay, so now they're trained on these appraisals and they're going to need to make a plan to do them. And then maybe the 4th step could actually be administering the appraisals or whatever you want. We haven't come up with 4 clear steps. So,
okay, so, and I got to return my part of the papers to you. Is that right, on Friday, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If there's anything, I would just email you and let you know.
Does anyone, I know there's a couple problems that we don't have a 4th solution on. Do we want to brainstorm that together real quick? We just have time. Because I think that'd be helpful to the people writing those paragraphs. So for that, like just for this first one, we have appraisals. So 4 solutions. We have writing forms, teaching management about how to administer the appraisals, and then we need 2 more solutions. So 1, I think, could be creating a detailed plan for years to come. You know, those things need to be scheduled or they're not going to happen. And then we need another one. So if that's just like administering the appraisals, I don't know how you could write about that. Or like, I don't know.
You know, I'm sorry I'm taking this time for this meeting to discuss about that, but
we wanted to be able to talk about it while we're all together.
Yeah, you told me that I should think about 4th solution, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I just was one, because in the case when I was looking at it, I was just thinking that another solution should be, they were having an issue with employment. There was not a certain guidelines or rules on how to employ people in the company, and about compensation instead of like a package compensation in the company. So I was just thinking about these two possible solutions.
Right. So those are great solutions to employment problems.
In
For this particular paragraph, it has to be a solution to the appraisal problem. That's what our section is about.
Okay.
So there hasn't been
okay.
in the last 5 years.
Okay, I got your point. I will work on that aspect.
Okay. And then to help, let's see. Okay, problem number 2 is harassment. And we have 4 solutions there. And then problem 3 is equal opportunity. And that's Marlon and Edwin. So 1, I have research laws. Solution 2 is to teach or inform management. Solution 3, I have enforce. So that would be like taking care of the problem that's currently there. And then we don't have a 4th solution written down. So we can brainstorm it here, or Marlon, you can email Edwin and try to think about what could be a 4th solution for the equal employment, or equal, sorry, not employment, the equal opportunity issues. So, and if you guys haven't, please read on the very first page of the document, I put the instructions, I just copied and pasted them from our professor. So make sure you read those and really understand what our professor is asking for. It's a pretty simple paper if you understand the layout. So yeah, good luck. That's all you need to worry about. All you need to worry about, good luck, is just writing about the appraisal problem and then those last 2 solutions for how we're going to fix the issue.
Okay.
So if you want, like I said, anything you type in there, we'll all be able to see. So, and I look at that a few times a day, that document. So if you want to write a few different ideas that you come up with, and then like we can work together to pick the best last solution, or if you have some questions, you can type them in there. Marlon wrote up her first ideas yesterday and then said, what do you think of this? And I gave her my feedback. So, I mean, we can just type anything we want on there to communicate with each other as we're writing.
Okay.
Onward.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Marlon, did you have a question?
No, I'm just going to stop the broadcast.
Oh, okay.
But I think we still should be able to talk. We'll just won't be recording, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.